Welcome back. We are live again. Finally. Ironically, I've been actually trying to get on live for at least 2 weeks now. It just never happens. But... All right, welcome back. We are live. I'm just going to make sure that everything is working the way I'm hoping it is. It's usually half the battles to get the technology to work with me. All right, we're good. We're live. Perfect. So, I hope you all are having a fabulous week. It's Friday already. September's over half gone. Wow. All right, I'm gonna just wait for a minute or two. If you're jumping on, let me know you're here. I'm not doing like anything intuitive today. I'm just doing I'm doing a mini lesson on our healing is in our stories. It's a quote. I can't remember if I heard it or if I read it. Um, but it's powerful and it's very very true. And I wanted to do a little teaching on it today. All right, I'm gonna get started. So in an online space, which obviously I'm very much part of, I hear it all the time. I see it all the time. Even like my clients come to me, and let's be honest, I even catch myself doing it at times too, where it's like, oh, this isn't going to work out for me. My favorite, and I'm using favorite in definitely quotations, more as a sarcastic remark than anything, but my favorite story that people tell themselves is, well, that's just the way it's always been, or that's the way I've always been. And literally, it's like you're stopping yourself right there in that second of having any possibility of expansion and growth, possibilities. You've pretty much just put all these limits on yourself, and essentially, as soul beings, we are soul beings first, human beings second. We are a soul being having a human experience. We have all of this ability to create. We have a universe, a God, whatever you want to call it, that's expansive, that's limitless, that's beyond anything that our human minds could even truly understand. And we want to put limits on that. We want to put parameters on it, all because our outside reality, may not look the way we think that it should, or it's not aligning with the thing that we want or the experience that we're striving for. And the truth of it is your current outside experience is just a manifestation of your previous mindset, of the previous things that you want. At some point, you've either consciously asked for this life that you're living currently with the outside reality that you are currently experiencing, or you've subconsciously done this through negative self talk, um, literally closing yourself off to possibility, things like that. When it comes to the way our universe works, it reacts to our energy, not to what we want. It's like if I sit here and I'm saying, oh, I want this and this and this and this, like I want to move to 200 acres and buy the water and be completely debt free and be making millions of dollars. I can say that all I want. It's not like, God universe is sitting there being like, okay, well, Lori just put in this request. Let's give it to her right now. That's not the way this works. It would be fabulous, trust me, if it did, but that's not the way it works. That's not a reality that we're in. We are the creators of it, so we need to work. There's things we need to do. There's steps we need to take. Now, are we the full creators? Absolutely not. We're co-creators, and we stop that co-creation process as soon as we start telling ourselves these stories. Now, another aspect of the stories we tell ourselves is like, oh, my dad did this to me and my mom did this to me, and my sibling, sister, brother, nephew, niece, whoever, husband, ex-husband, girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, whatever, they did something to me. That is another story that we tell ourselves. And we get stuck there. We get stuck in believing that this other person actually did something to us, to a point where you may find that something that happened 2 years ago, 3 years ago, even like literally at the beginning of this video, is now in the past. Anything that I had said in the beginning of this video, anything I did at the beginning of this video, I can no longer take it back. It's over. It's done. It's in the past. We only can live right here, right now. Now, if something has happened in the past to you, and you're thinking about it, you're talking about it, you're essentially bringing it into your present moment. This is another story, another way that we tell ourselves stories that are limiting us. We were never, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, we are not here to be completely berated constantly with all the experiences we've gone through. We are not here to sit with, like something that, say, happened in our childhood. If something happened to you when you were 5 years old and you're now sitting there at 80 years old, do you honestly think God created you to sit there for 75 years holding on to that experience? Absolutely not. And this is where the healing is. This is why this quote of our healing is in our stories. That literally is. The things we need to heal are in the stories that we tell ourselves. So what is intended, how we are meant to show up, is to go through the experience, because on some level, we've signed up for this. We have signed up to learn, to grow, and to evolve. That literally is the epitome of everything that we're supposed to do as every single human being on this earth. You come into this earth from the afterlife, and you come into this earth, onto this earth, to learn, to grow, and to evolve. What that looks like is unique for every single person. When you signed up to come into this world, it was to learn and to grow and evolve. Because on Earth, you can do that the most. As a soul being, we coming to Earth, we have the most capability of being able to learn, grow, and evolve. So rather than holding on to the story of victimhood, of, oh, this happened to me, and this happened to me, and this happened to me, and this person did this, and this person did this, instead of holding on to that, I challenge you to start changing the story that you're telling yourself. Rather than, my dad's no good, he was never around. Maybe tell yourself, my dad taught me how important it is to show up for people that I love. My dad taught me the importance of being intentional with being in people's lives that I care about. Even if you just listen to those two sentences, the victim, the story that you're telling yourself versus the reframe of it, it feels so much lighter. The truth of it is whatever somebody else has done to you is 100% on them. You do not need to carry anything. It's not yours to carry. That's not your karma. The moment somebody else has done something to you, they have created their karma, the good, the bad, the ugly. That's on them. What is on you is what you're going to do about it. And if you keep in mind that you are here to grow, to learn, grow, and evolve, then that's going to be the story that you aspire to. If you constantly tell yourself, I'm here to learn, grow, and evolve, that's going to be, as you go through all your experiences, regardless of your age, that's going to be your defining moment of being able to reframe the story. Rather than saying, oh, my sister was rude to me and she hurt me. Rather than saying that, it's like, my sister showed me where her wounds are. And where I need to put my needs first, where I need to make myself a priority. A lot of the people, not a lot, all of the people outside of you are literally mirrors for you. Meaning, whatever you think they're doing to you, it's actually you taking it that way because of it's basically you're being triggered because there's something in you that you haven't been doing. So let's say, for an example, if somebody has hurt your feelings, I would ask you the question of, well, when have you stood by yourself? When did you make your feelings matter? Um, because chances are, if you're letting other people hurt you in that way, you've actually been hurting yourself far longer than they ever have been. There is something around your worth or something around your value and how you see that worth and that value that's coming up here. Every single story that you tell yourself isn't about the other person. It doesn't matter what their name is, it doesn't matter what their label is, what who they are in your life. It's not about the other person. It always comes back to you. It always comes back to something that you're not doing for yourself in a way that you're not showing up for yourself. Maybe you're not supporting yourself, you're not nurturing yourself, you keep abandoning yourself, whatever that story is. Maybe it's even silencing yourself. Whatever that story is, that's how you are going to be showing up. And that's the story that you're holding on to. So, this is the good news. Because here's the truth of it. If somebody else was doing all this stuff to you, you can't change them. You have no capacity to be able to change them at all. But if you, the only person that you have control over is yourself, and you can change yourself. So, this isn't about like sitting there blaming and shaming yourself into healing. You can't blame and shame yourself through healing. That's just not how that works. It's about recognizing that the things that are happening outside of you is happening for you to be able to help you to change, to grow, to evolve, and to learn everything like what we're here to do. If you're using every single person as a mirror for yourself, that's where your healing is. So pay attention to the stories you tell yourself, about your past, about your present, about the people in your life. Every single story is going to come back to you. And it needs to, because you're the only one that has control over yourself. You're the only one that has the capacity to change anything within yourself. Now there's one thing, kind of a little bit of a disclaimer I want to say on this. I have seen many people, probably, no, I know I have done this myself as well, where you go from, being like, let's say for an example, if you realize that you're abandoning yourself, to like the far other side of I don't need anyone, nobody is ever there for me, I'm not going to be there for anybody else, I'm going to do this life on my own. One is just as toxic as the other. Being a doormat for people and claiming that you don't need anybody and you're going to do life on your own, one is literally, it's the same spectrum, just opposite ends, and one is just as toxic as the other. Because the truth of it is, as a human being, you do need other people. We, as human beings, we need connection. We strive for connection. We are very much like community-based beings. We need to have structure. We need to have a structured community around us to feel that support. But, so watch for that, because it's literally, that's the hurt story that you're telling yourself, is that I don't need anybody. Because you do. You do need people. And that's okay. But, and if you need to go over here into this other toxic of I don't need anybody kind of space while you're healing, that's completely fine. If you need to take that step back, that's completely fine. But I definitely encourage you not to stay there. Because, like I said, it's just as toxic, and it's hurting yourself even more by saying that. It's a trauma response, essentially. So what you want to do is be able to come into the middle of, you can be around people, but you're still standing up for yourself. You're not abandoning yourself. You're making sure that your needs are met. You're making sure that you're being nurtured. You're making sure that you're not silencing yourself. That's that middle ground between being the doormat and being the I don't need anybody, everybody can just leave me alone kind of attitude. That is the middle ground. That's what you want to heal towards. That's what you want to strive for. So pay attention to the stories you tell yourself. You want to know what to heal? There's a very good example of what you can start healing, and you can start healing that right away. Like, you can start that anytime. Pay attention to the stories you tell yourself, where you're being the victim. As soon as you're pointing the finger at someone else in blame, you're in victim mentality. Just instantly, just like that, you are in victim mentality as soon as you give your power away to say, hey, this is what's going on outside of me, and now I'm the victim of their circumstances. You're not the victim. You are absolutely not the victim. This is a huge gift for you to be able to learn, grow, and evolve. At the end of the day, like I said, that's what we're here for. Every single person is here for that. Is it easy? Absolutely not. Is it worth it? 110%. Anybody that I've ever talked to I've asked them about their healing journey, They've always said it's hard. It's really hard. It's messy. And it really sucks. Like, let's be honest, it just really, really sucks until it doesn't. And then when it doesn't, it's magical and it's beautiful and it's like you want to keep doing it no matter what. You want to keep doing it. And even like someone like myself, I've been on this journey, consciously on this journey for 11 years. And I still go through some different things where, I mean, I'm not necessarily, I don't look at it necessarily that I'm like in the depth of my healing necessarily anymore, but I'm very self-aware of recognizing like my toxic patterns and being able to shift them. And ultimately it comes down to that as much as it sucks to have to go through it, as much as it sucks to have to like look at yourself and have this kind of like brutal honesty with yourself, but in a loving way, you still go through it just because on the other side of it, you know, you're the true and authentic version of you is on the other side of all the healing that you're needing to do. And that's essentially why we do what we do. When we come into this earth, you know, we're layered with this so-called like this trauma and conditioning and programming and like whether it's cultural or education wise or parental, like we're just layered with all of this stuff. And it's like we're being asked like, hey, can you remember who you were before you came into you? Can you come back to that authentic soul aspect of who you are in this human life? Because that's the secret of it is coming back to yourself. Because coming back to yourself, you're coming back to your empower your own unique imprint of what you're here, why you're here, and why you signed up to be here is to have this experience in order to allow you to be able to come back to your true and authentic self. You're not, like I said before, you're not the product of your circumstances. You're not a product of the things that other things that people have done to you. It's what you choose to do with them that's going to matter. It's the only thing that matters. And being able to you know, one by one, to strip all of those conditioning, programming, traumas off of yourself in order to step back into the authentic you. That's essentially the secret of life, in a nutshell. That is it for today. If you are on the replay and you have any questions, or if even if you're with me live and you have any questions, just please leave them in the comments, and I will definitely answer them as soon as I can. I hope you have a wonderful day, an even better weekend, and we will talk soon. Until then, take care. Bye for now.